What's happening, sports fans? We welcome you to, I think this is just under midway point in the football season, if I have it correct. This week 5, like there's 11 or 12 total weeks. We're right around there. This is the week 5 show. Christian Pedersen, Tommy Morse, Bodie De Silva from Scorebook Live, and Noah Laxina are all joining us on this show as well. Before we go any further, though, wanted to thank our brand new sponsors and presenting sponsors of that, the U.S. Army. Please check out more of what they are doing on social media at U.S. Army. And then we have all the links in all of the directions. You can go check it out. Not specifically are we sponsored by the U.S. Army football team, but always want to give a plug because there's a couple of dudes every few years. Yeah, see, the intern links the U.S. Army too. She supports them. She knows Malinois are in service out there. So yeah, if you're a dog listening to this podcast like the intern is, you can join the Army as well. For more, we will have information, like I said, on all of them.
That's true.
Of their support. I don't know how that Kingsley. How does that go?
Canine soldier.
I don't. Yeah. Well, I mean, yes, it is true that Malinois serve aggressively, so as the armed forces dogs now. But I don't know how they wind up like picking them specifically. Later in the show, we're going to have game picks that will be easier. We will have a couple of great stories to talk about there. Bodie De Silva's got all the news from Scorebook Live. Noah Lax has some game balls, a lot to talk about. But first, guys, let's start as we do with the top 10. Bodie De Silva from Scorebook Live. I like your top 10 to be the official one that we kind of, hold upon high, if nothing else. But yeah, let's go around the room, starting with you, Bodie. Top 10, please.
Yeah, Carlsbad's there for me. Their only loss came to Inglewood out of section, and they held off El Camino last week. That game was closer than I thought, but I think the biggest theme throughout the whole county this year is there's just not one team that's beyond everyone. There's some bad about that because they haven't done well out of section, but I think that's great news that we'll have competitive playoffs. So for now, Carlsbad's there. They're going to dive into some more Avocado League play, so they will certainly be challenged. Number 2, Madison. They're undefeated. They've been rolling, haven't given up more than 7 points in any game. They'll have some tough chances in league coming up, but for now they're on their bye this week before Granite Hills in 2 weeks. Cathedral Catholic got back into the win column. They edged out Helix by a point last week. Still think they're really good, but that schedule is really tough, and they'll be challenged against De La Salle this Friday. Lincoln, Roderick Robinson, incredible, 476 yards.
I had to double check that a couple of times when I saw the touchdown number circulating, because I'm like, I assumed that 8 touchdowns equated to like 120 points.
It feels like it,
but no, it was 8 touchdowns of just solely Roddy Robinson.
Hey, you're thinking fantasy.
No. I'll tell you what was going through my mind the entire time reading about that performance. And I said it last show, and I will say it every show here after. UCLA, get that man his bag. Roderick Robinson.
They're already in trouble.
College Station. He's gonna be College Station.
I know. And I'm bracing.
And nobody has bigger bags than them.
But Roderick Robinson needs to be a millionaire. Roderick Robinson needs to be a millionaire ASAP because of UCLA boosters. Yes, say it louder, intern. Pay that man his money. All right, keep going.
They don't have a bag. They don't have a bag at A&M. They have a suitcase.
Can UCLA offer him some of the TV deal that they're about to get?
Bro, UCLA needs to pay him in Bitcoin, get him an Armani sponsorship, have him make cameos on the Kardashians, do whatever he needs. Just do it. Just get
10% of sales from Rose Bowl revenue.
Yeah, for his life, for lifetime.
Anything that man needs. I would tell, rename the library after him. Do whatever the hell we need to in honor to get that guy here, because there will be there's no quantifiable return on value that you can get from a running back.
Right.
It's just,
hey, I'll tell you this: if you're him, when you see this video, you better retweet this, man. This is cool. Like, imagine you got four dummies talking about you for 2 minutes about how bad what UCLA should give you. That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, so with Lincoln, super impressive. They got Steel Canyon this week, and it looks like the Western League is going to be really, really tight there between Madison, Cathedral, and Lincoln. So some fun games coming up. Number 5, Helix. They slide down a little bit against Cathedral, but not much you can really say there. They are going to play Saints this week, and then they got Servite and Mission Viejo coming up. So some out-of-section teams for them. Poway remains really impressive. 35-7 win over Torrey Pines. They're going to go to Vista. Poway is a team I'm looking at that they're to me, the heavy favorite in every game they have the rest of the way. So if that's a team that can finish the way undefeated, maybe they sneak into the open division. Powerful run game, some bigger players there for Poway this year. Granite Hill's in at number 7 for me this week. They lost to Poway in the opening week, but since then they've outscored their opponents 125-15. So it looks like they're getting their gear together right at the right time. They got Central coming up this week. That'll be a good one. Mira Mesa there at number 8. They're coming off the bye. They've had a bunch of days off to prepare for Scripps Ranch, so that'll be a good one Saturday night. San Marcos at number 9. They lost to Mira Mesa early on, but they went up and put 56 points on Oceanside last week. And then La Costa Canyon at number 10. They found a way to win a game I was at against Mission Hills on Friday. Really impressive defense, did not allow Mission Hills an offensive touchdown. And La Costa went and got the one touchdown they needed at the end of the game to win that one 13-10. So they'll host San Marcos this week in a 9-versus-10 matchup. And I think overall the Avocado League, outside of Carlsbad at the top, I think those next 5-6 teams are really going to be battling. Anyone really has a chance at second place.
Tommy Morris, your thoughts, your top 10, your reactions.
Yeah, I mean, I think you almost have to give Lincoln that number 1 spot at some point. I mean, that was most impressive. I know it's only one dude, but pretty impressive. And by the way, if they wanted to throw, they could. Good quarterback, good wide receivers. So my favorite to win it all, I would say at this point in time, is Lincoln.
Are we at the point now where the number 1 team, like, is 5 games a large enough sample size to say that whoever is number 1 is now all right, we're all agreeing that they're the odds-on favorite?
To me, I think it depends on who you've played. Like Madison's been really impressive to me, but they haven't played the same strength of schedule as the teams ahead of them or right below them. So I still like Madison a lot. So that's why I'm keeping them up there. A ton of returning starters. They've dominated everyone they've needed to. But until they play Lincoln and Cathedral in these next few weeks, I don't know if we'll really know how good they are.
Noah Laxini, your thoughts on the top 10 this week?
I wanted to comment on Mira Mesa first, just being able to bounce back. I know that's a game that they're super looking forward to, losing against Helix, but it's not just about, how you start, it's about how you react, how you come back from that. And they overcame adversity, and now look at them. They're mentioned within the top 10 teams, and that goes to show that, maybe they weren't ready in that moment, but they're building towards being ready for the playoffs. And then also San Marcos, they got a great quarterback, man, and their ability to put 56 on Oceanside, and it seems like they're clicking at the right time. And I feel like, it's a testament to, hey, beginning of the season, we weren't where we wanted to be, but right now it's like, who wants to face that offense come playoff time?
It feels to me like you guys have seen the Paul Rudd clip from Hot Ones where he's like, look at us now, man. Look at us.
Yeah.
Look where we're.
Right.
It feels like we got a couple of teams that are starting to emerge as that, like Mira Mesa after week 1 getting kind of thrashed. Like, look at us now, man. We're in the top 10. I love that it feels like there's new blood that is kind of turning things over this year, and I absolutely am here for it. I dig it. Another thing that I'm here for that I dig is Bodie De Silva's coverage on Scorebook Live. You can follow them at SB Live CA or download the SB Live Sports. Bodie, what do you got coming out this week that people need to tune in for?
Yeah, we're starting to dig on different player lists, rankings from out the county and really the whole state. I know we're focused here in San Diego section. So quarterbacks,
we'll bleep out anything that you mentioned on San Diego section.
Quarterbacks and running backs will be up first. 2 really positions of strength year in and year out. I think especially this year, Roderick Robinson, not just the best running back in San Diego, but at this point, it's very clear the best in the state. So he will certainly be atop that list. But there's other guys. Major Givens is someone who's been really impressive these last few years and keep going down on that list. So once we get to this midpoint part of the season, I think it's a good time to start digging in on guys that have had really impressive starts. And then I think the other part is kind of the unsung heroes. We're working on guys that may not have the scholarship offers, the top rankings, but are still producing numbers every week. The first one that comes to mind like that to me is Angelino Trapasso from Rancho Buena Vista. Every week he's just putting up numbers, and got to see him last year against Mount Carmel and hopefully later on this season. But that's a team that schedule hasn't been great so far, but they've done everything they've needed to, and they look on their way to making a big playoff run.
Really appreciate it, Bodie. Like I said, you can follow him at SD Preps, them at SB Live CA. You mentioned the RBV quarterback. I will say 2 things. I will say, 1, glad that they're the better of the teams in that region right now. And 2 is glad you mentioned a quarterback. Let's go to game balls and shout outs from the last week, starting with Tommy Morse, who I now see is wearing one of the coolest Padres shirts that I have seen in a really long time. Roderick Robinson.
I got Instagram targeted and it worked.
Deal. I'm going to tell you, Rod Robinson, if you want that shirt, I'll go take it from Tommy for you. Anything you want, my man. Go to UCLA, please. Let's start with game balls, top performers and shout outs from our special teams guru, he's redefined high school sports coverage. Who knew that the thing that the high school sports universe was missing was a special teams shout out of the week? But we're glad that you guys dig it.
Give the people what they want.
Seriously, and also cause controversy. Classical, I don't know if you saw the IG comment section, but Classical Academy's kicker feels disrespected from last week, Tommy. So if you want to address that drama, you're welcome to. If not, let's go with your game balls from this week. Okay,
I'll address it in a little bit. But yeah, so obviously there's a guy at Lincoln who everyone would give game ball to, so I skipped that one. Anytime you go over 400 on the ground and score 8 touchdowns, that's pretty good. Other than him, though, Isaiah Haston from St. Augustine, 4 receptions, 169 yards, and 2 touchdowns last week. Eli Edwards, 20 carries for Rancho Bernardo. That gave him 141 yards and a touchdown. Aiden Volk from Escondido Charter, the White Tigers, having a very, very good season. I think they're undefeated at this point in time. 108 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns. And Maranatha got their first win. Big thanks to Owen Say. 368 passing yards and 3 touchdowns against Kearney. That was a huge upset in my mind. I did not see that coming at all. Maranatha, congratulations to those guys on a big win over Kearney.
Noah Laxina, your game balls and shout outs from last week.
First, I want to shout out Tauntaun Drobny. Sorry if I got that wrong, but he had 2 picks for long returns, and he kicked a 28-yard field goal. So doing it on special teams and on defense, that was really nice. Definitely want to shout out Christian Noriega, 5 touchdown passes, broke the school record at Olympian. So, hey, go Eagles. Shout out to Christian Noriega, sophomore sensation. Also want to give freshman quarterback Crete. Man, I don't know your last name. I'm going to call you K-Mac. K-Mac, my guy, freshman quarterback. 7 TDs. You can't tell me he's got to use that nickname, man. K-Mac, that's dope. 7 touchdowns. San Marcos, one of the top 10 teams in San Diego now, and it's a lot because of this freshman sensation. I think this experience, man, it's gonna pay him dividends. San Marcos is gonna be reckoned with for the next few years. And then Brady Palmer, the quarterback for St. Augustine, he did really well against a tough Steel Canyon defense, and that's another program where you're like, wow, it feels like we're in San Diego. We have our own little Mahomes, Allen, Herbert type of young quarterbacks, Burrow, Lamar Jackson. Like, San Diego's popping for quarterbacks right now, man. It's nice to see we have all those. I'll tell you this, I wish I had these guys on my fantasy football team because my team got crushed last week. So shout out to you guys, man.
I've never heard the word crushed said so dynamically. That was you could feel it. You could feel the team getting crushed. Open question before we go to you, Tommy, before we go to you, Bodie, with your game balls, but is San Marcos as a program right now, and I know turnarounds and collapses and rebuilds don't happen the same in high school as they do everywhere else, but is San Marcos the turnaround of the year? Like, are they the comeback overall program of the year?
Yeah, for me, for sure. And Tom Carroll's there now, the son of legendary Oceanside coach John Carroll. And at least internally for several years now, it had been whenever he kind of finds the job he wants to take over, he's going to do a great job. Had been at San Marcos before, had been on Carlsbad's recent staff. And it seems like in year 1, they've hit the ground running and done some great stuff. And each week look more and more impressive and have some young stars. Not just Creed at quarterback, but have several young wide receivers. So these next couple of years, they're already moving up, but I think these next couple of years, they're going to make a lot of noise.
Bodie, your game balls from the week, please.
Yeah, really going all over the county. I'll start with Owen Say from Maranatha Christian. Quarterback had 368 passing yards, 3 passing touchdowns, 91 rushing yards, 2 rushing touchdowns, and even helped out with a forced fumble in their close win over Kearney.
Nice.
Trayvon Blanks from Crawford he caught 5 passes, 191 yards, and 3 touchdowns, and that helped them beat Mount Miguel by 2 points. Joaquin Thomas from Granite Hills had 2 interceptions and had 87 return yards on those 2 interceptions. And then Ty Olson from Del Norte, Another one of the great young wide receivers we have in the county, caught 10 passes for 178 yards and scored all 3 of his team's touchdowns in their game on Friday.
Wonderful. For more, you can go to Scorebook Live, check out all the scores, check out all the rosters, check out all the stats. The one thing.
Hey, Christian, I got a quick question for the room.
Yes, please.
What is one of the coolest football plays? Is it A, the quarterback, kicker, or punter hit stick? B, the lineman touchdown, long touchdown, not a short one, lineman long touchdown, whether it's like defensive line pick six or offensive line fumble rooski type thing, or C, the hurdle. I think the hurdle is just crazy.
A, no, that's a no-brainer. It's A.
I
like never happens.
The D lineman pick six. I had one of those at my game on Friday, and that one's always fun. He only had to go 12 yards, so that made it a lot easier. But I love seeing
it is the longest 12 yards in the history of 12 yards, though, because you're just waiting for someone to catch him.
A screen pass they pick up easy on and take it back. So
if I had to pick from yours, Noah, I would probably go with the quarterback hit. Like because you're saying quarterback applies the hit stick, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because I've seen Buckner do that a couple times, and hell yeah,
still advised.
That's fun as hell. There's a touchdown from the Buckner. I guess it's technically the Bishop's El Camino game, but it's the Buckner El Camino game. And Bodie, I want to say you were like right near me when you saw this happen, but he went straight through a linebacker. Like
we were behind the end zone.
Yeah, okay,
we were. Oh, that I should send that clip in. It was incredible.
Please do. If you can find that clip, please post that as the Throwback Thursday this week. Noah, Tommy, have you guys either of you seen this clip or photo that I'm talking about?
I think if I'm not mistaken, it's very similar to what Andrew Luck did to USC.
Yeah,
November of 19, maybe.
Yes. Yeah. Like late, right around that Thanksgiving weekend. It's Noah. You'll laugh at this when you end up seeing it, but it is literally a 250-pound Samoan kid just on his back on the goal line, and Buckner just casually walking through him, and you're just like, oh, that must be their.
Oh, never mind. I was thinking of something else. I was thinking of the Andrew Luck forced fumble.
You're like, oh, that must be Bishop's, Ohio State Notre Dame bound tight end. You're like, nope, that's their quarterback. Just ran through a Polynesian linebacker.
Also, hopefully, his recovery goes well.
Yes.
Yes. Hell yeah, dude.
Yes.
We love him.
That's
he's gonna be a pro. We're gonna follow that.
He's fine. Yeah, he's gonna be fine.
We stand 2 athletes officially in show canon, Jake Jackson and Tyler Buckner. But Noah, if I could go off script and say something that I saw for the first time in a minute, going off of one of your game balls, Noriega, the quarterback and Olympian, in his 5 touchdowns, one of them was he drops the snap and immediately picks it up and throws a dime into the back of the end zone.
That was a great clip. Yeah.
Yeah. You can see that on our IG reels. And it's not like he snaps it, drops it, has like a couple minutes to roll around. It's a pretty quick, like he picks it back up and within conceivably one motion of just like looking down, like, oh, all right, 45 yards, cool, in the rain, whatever, great, fine. You're like,
calm, cool, and collective, baby. I'm telling you, that kid is special, man. It's nice to see them spread out their wings as eagles and throw the ball down the field, because dang, it was tightening up with that wing tee for a while, man. It's good to see him spread it out, and he's definitely the guy to do it with, because he's a sophomore, big kid, could take on hits. He has a big body, and he seems like he's the guy to that big, powerful quarterback you need back there.
Yeah, I want to be a dick and say something about like, remember the last time Olympian had a guy throwing it deep and balls were being dropped, but I will leave those touchdowns. I will leave those potentially earth-shattering touchdowns untalked about from that game. Let's move on to our game predictions from this week. Before we get to that, though, let's get to a quick word from our new supporters and sponsors, the U.S. Army. All right, guys, welcome back. Let's talk about our game predictions from the week, as Noah is still laughing from. I don't think that Bodie or Tommy realized I was shit talking your miserable failure to win a championship game off of the back 2 drop touchdown passes. If I have that,
and That's why
I'm laughing because I didn't know that we were going to do a commercial break.
Yeah. That was the greatest commercial ever, man.
You really got to do what you got to do, bro.
I know.
Let's get to our game predictions from this week. Tommy is going to be doing a special segment also called Conflict of Interest, where Tommy has to talk about a game other than what we're talking about. But let's start with San Ysidro and Hilltop. Hilltop has had a really good run game this year, very strong offensive line. They've had a couple of nice wins, but they are not undefeated. They are a competitive team. They are in the hunt this year. It's kind of the same with San Ysidro. They had a big win though against Monte Vista last week. So I'm curious where the room falls on this one. Is this, Hilltop's going to keep winning this, but San Ysidro is going to get closer, or is there a potential for San Ysidro being an upset, or San Ysidro winning not even an upset? Let's start with Noah Laxina.
I'm going to go with Hilltop. I think the running back from Hilltop is very physical, and I think in that type of game, he's going to be able to wear down that San Ysidro defense. I think he's due for a big day. I'm going to take Hilltop.
Bodie De Silva from Scorebook Live. Your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I think I'm very similar there. I think it's going to be really close. Like you said, it's not that San Ysidro is very far away. I will go with Hilltop in a close one. But if San Ysidro wins, it's not some huge upset to me. They've proved that that they're definitely on the way up.
Which I love. I absolutely love some of these teams that are no longer, oh, that's a cute little win. It's like, all right, great. Let's play some football. Go 500 this year. Go a game or two over. We have tons of confidence in that happening. Tommy Morris, your thoughts?
Was a physical guy in San Ysidro's defense, and Junior Gutierrez, 13.5 tackles per game. So they can physical with a physical player in a physical ball game and be physical. Tariq Garcia also had 3 interceptions on the season for Ysidro. I like the upset if we want to call it an upset. How about San Ysidro on this one?
I also think that it's fun that San Ysidro has a breakout freshman. This show is universally always better when there is a good freshman at San Ysidro. All I need to say. Our next game that we got going on this week, Rancho, Buena Vista, and Escondido. RBV flirting with like a 9 or 10 win season, maybe. I don't know. It seems like they might be the real deal. I mentioned, they've got questions with their schedule, but Escondido is always a tough out. What do we think about this one? Bodie De Silva, we'll start with you.
The way Rancho Buena Vista has been playing, I just can't pick against them right now. They obviously can run the ball with Angelino Chaprasso, but with Connor Underhill, they've got a very capable quarterback that I know just set the school record for touchdown passes. So I think regardless of how you want to defend them right now, they've got options both ways. So I really like Rancho Buena Vista in this one, and to keep it going. And they'll have some tough league games as they go on, but at least for this week, I like them to beat Escondido.
Tommy Morris, your thoughts on RBV Escondido?
Yeah, RBV, I'd say there's about 4 teams in Division 3 that have a very serious shot of winning it and could call themselves a favorite. I think RBV might be one of them, specifically from what Bodie just said. They can beat you with the pass. Connor Underhill is a 7-to-1 touchdown interception ratio. They haven't had to use him this much this year because, as Bodie also mentioned, Angelino Anthony Trapasso is averaging 220 yards a game. So they can beat you whichever way they want. And I feel like they're still holding some stuff back that they're going to wait to use in league season. I think this is a very, very good RBV team, maybe one of the best we've seen in a while. I like them in this game.
Noah Lax, your thoughts?
Just to comment on RBV, I think it's great that you have balance. Balanced teams win championships. Whether you're run heavy or pass heavy, when you're able to balance out that attack, that's when you're special. And I think that's the perfect ingredient for this young quarterback is have a good running game. I got RBV being dominant. I also think they're one of the top teams in the division. And I'm excited to see how this young quarterback progresses throughout the season because he does have a great run game. It kind of reminds me of, I know Cowboys fans do not ever have a lot to be excited about these days because they stink. But I remember a time when Dak Prescott and Zeke first came into the league, when they first came in that rookie year and they're dominant, that kind of reminds me of the duo that's over at RBV. But hopefully they have more success.
You know what, Noah? I laugh because there's no reason for Dallas Cowboys fans to catch a stray. That whole metaphor could have been like, they remind me of a young Zeke and Dak. Not
They can always
that was a drive-by that was so uncalled for Dallas Cowboys fans right there. Noah Lax, the cynical NFL.
Especially with Dak just injuring himself. Jeez, no.
Yeah.
While he's down.
Noah, you got any British monarchy jokes you want to get out there too? Man, come on. Whoa. It is in a crazy direction.
Brutal.
And I've watched too much. I've been watching too much. I actually just started Game of Thrones, and I watched like 5 seasons in one, like
Wait,
in like 2 days.
You just now are starting OG. Oh man, you've watched.
Yeah. So
I'm
I'm like basically on 6. Yeah, I'm on season 6 already. In the last me and Janae just started like 6 days ago. We're already on season 6.
I'm glad that she is now officially show canon as well.
Yes.
That is her first official mention. Around the room real quick before we get our next game. Tommy, Bodie, I'm assuming neither of you guys are Game of Thrones people.
I hate it.
Hate it?
Oh, I couldn't agree with you more. Thank you.
Hate it or just don't watch it?
Both.
I watched 1 episode, hated it. I hate the whole time.
Oh, you gotta. That's the first thing is give it more than 1 episode. That's literally the first thing people say.
Yeah,
like give it like 3 or 4, and it's like you just get too attached to it, man.
The time period's very boring.
I understand that.
It could benefit from some Tim Robinson. Everything could benefit from some Tim Robinson.
Yeah.
Let's go on to our next game. We got conflict of interest here. So Tommy's going to bow out of this one. He will have a separate game to talk to unless he wants to be spicy and bold on this. But let's talk about La Jolla and Morse. This is a pair of teams. Look, La Jolla had a bad outing in week 1. And I think there was some, okay, down here, but they've rebounded nicely. Morse has a running back that, as much discussion is being given to Roddy Robinson right now, I'm not going to say that their guy is like better. I'm not trying to start any like drama here, but Demarion Wright ran for 6 and threw for 1 in a game. He has hit some people so hard that we've seen their souls leave their bodies on Instagram reels. Like, he's a really good running back. And I like entirely, this is something that the last couple of times that we have seen a Morse team where Tracy McNair has a dude like Shamar Martin type, just you can put him anywhere and he'll get the job done. It's been a team that has gone on to play in or win a championship. So I think it's time that we talk about Morse and La Jolla bouncing back as well. So let's talk with Bodie DeSilva from Scorebook Live first. Your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, the Morse running game has been impressive for years, and it feels like they kind of just plug a next guy in. Obviously, they've got
but sometimes they have that elevated where they got that.
Oh, yeah,
they got that.
No, there's some years where it's better than most, and that certainly is the case this year. I've been really impressed by the way La Jolla's bounced back because I was at that Bishop's game with you in the first week, and I think how much they've improved has just been a big impression that I've seen so far. So I think this is going to be a really close game. I like Morse just to kind of run it a little more, but I think this is somewhere within 3 to 7 points.
Noah Lax, your thoughts?
I think it's going to be very interesting game to see. If you want to go out and see a conflict of styles, definitely want to come out and watch this one. I'm going to go La Jolla. I think in that first week, I think everything that could have happened that could have went either way didn't go their way. And I think they've responded really well to that. I think their offense has grown tremendously. And I think one of the strengths of their defense is how physical they are. And I think that they're going to hold that running game. And I think on offense, they're going to be able to move the ball down the field efficiently. And I think they're going to win a close one.
Tommy Morris has conferred with our intern about what might be the underdog of the week. And in lieu of Tommy talking about this game, he's going to talk about someone he might be a road dog. He might be an upset. What are you guys talking about?
Yeah, so I will avoid the game that was previously mentioned because conflict of interest for me. So me and the intern have decided that we are going to pick an upset. And I don't know if it counts as an upset, but in our eyes it is. Otay Ranch going for their first win. I think we both think, that they will get it this week against San Diego. They've had a tough schedule to play Madison, Helix, Mira Mesa. San Diego's 2-2. Again, I don't know if it qualifies as an upset, but it is still a team getting their first win.
An upset. That's a
okay. We'll take it. Otay getting their first win is our upset.
All right, last game of the week that I want to talk about here is Central and Granite Hills. Granite Hills I think they can't, you shout out Granite Hills. They will respect this year. Central has flirted with being a top 10. I think that 1 or 2 of the weeks they were actually in the top 10 or receiving top 10 votes. So I think this could be an excellent football game this weekend. Tommy Morse, we want to start with you?
I don't know if this counts as an upset either, but I like Central. Charlie Sullivan is like super good at football. I don't know if you've heard
This
of
one
him,
does
but
not
he's got
count as an upset because I would say that despite the record, Central is the better team in this matchup, probably.
Yeah, so 513 yards on the ground, 7 touchdowns. He also added 2 receiving touchdowns in 3 games. Do the math on that. That's pretty insane. That's 3 touchdowns a game for Charlie Sullivan. Again, Central kind of further away from every other school in the county, so they get lost in the shuffle a little bit. But this is a very, very good football team with some star power. I like the Spartans.
Bodie DeSilva from Scorebook Live, your thoughts?
Yeah, this one's a little tougher for me because I have Granite Hills as the ranked team. I had Central just outside. I'm going to go Central here, though, and I think in their case, they weren't able to play last week. I believe some weather issues prevented them from traveling.
Their bus couldn't make it.
Yeah. So they were not able to come play University City. I will take Central here, though. I think that they're going to surprise some people. I know, obviously, they're out in the desert, so they don't always get the fair chance of everyone getting to see them and knowing how good they really are. But this is a very good Central team. I know Brawley's good as well. So Central, these Central Valley teams have some good teams this year, and I'm gonna say Central picks up a big win this week.
Bodie DeSilva, Noah Lax, your thoughts?
I'm gonna go. Oh man, I kind of want to be I think I'm gonna be that guy and just go with Granite Hills. Just off of, I think they're a really good football team. I think they're really well disciplined. I think that they're gonna, see this video right here on the strength of this video alone and see you guys and be like, "There's no way we're letting this
fly, baby."
I'm going Granite Hills in this one, in a close one.
There you go. I love the optimism through which Noah views our show, that he will hear us talking and Roddy Robinson will decide on UCLA. Granite Hills is going to hear Noah talking. They'll go get a dub. Very filled with positivity on that front, despite gunning down NFL fandoms in the middle of the show as well.
Only the Cowboys.
Guys, anything that we missed this last week?
That's fair.
Dare I ask, who are the Cowboys of San Diego? I think I already know the answer to my own question there, though. Anything that we missed from this week in high school sports? No? All right, perfect. Just wanted to say, coming out in the next couple weeks are all the official CIF power rankings for all these different sports. So not that replaces and circumvents the top 10, but it replaces and circumvents the top 10. Like, no matter how the polls are going to be ranked, these will be we will actually finally start having a mathematical picture as to what our playoffs look like. And I think that'll be interesting to see, because there's bound to be 1 or 2 teams in every division that we had misplaced and misranked and misperceived. So looking forward to that coming out and seeing where the chips start to fall, because then you can start playing that math game that, all right, great, this team's a 6, they can climb up to 3 or go down to 10 or whatever. Like, there's going to be some fun football to talk about over the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned for that as well. Make sure you download the Scorebook Live app, SB Live Sports, scorebooklive.com, all that kind of stuff. You can follow Tommy at Real Tommy Morris, Noah Lax 17. Bodie is SD Preps online and in real life. Thank you again, as always, to our sponsors, the U.S. Army. No commercial break inserted here, but I appreciate the team playing along with my lack of production this week, guys. We'll talk to you next week.